Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Enrichment, where we talk to small business owners and entrepreneurs on strategies and best practices. Although small businesses are often at a disadvantage when competing with bigger companies, they can have one advantage: can always be smarter than they are. So let's get right to it. This week, our subject is memory. What was it I wanted to remember? Well, everyone has said that at one time or another. And I know I'm getting a little bit up there, but when it comes to science, it's a little bit difficult remembering what it is you want to as you get older. Studies show that our ability to remember new information peaks in our 20s. Now, granted, the older we get, the more pronounced this phenomenon can be. However, in today's enrichment, I thought we'd look at what neuroscience tells us about memory and how we can improve it. In an article by Jeff Hayden, he recommends 4 simple routines to significantly boost recall, retention, and long-term memory. So I thought it would be a helpful exercise for us to look into how we may be able to incorporate these into our daily lives. So, tip number 1, say what you want to remember out loud. A study published in Journal of Experimental Psychology found that saying words out loud or just mouthing them makes them more distinctive. It separates them from all the other words you're thinking. It makes them different. Do the repeated out loud method with anything you want to remember. Someone's name at a networking event or a meeting, or some facts or some figures that you know you'll need later on. Even the title of a book or an article, hearing it will make it stick more in your memory. Tip number 2. The author says, try and predict whether you will remember something you want to remember. Let me explain. A study from the Canadian Journal of Experimental Psychology, quote, found that the simple act of asking yourself whether you will remember something makes it half again as likely that you, in fact, will remember. And that's especially true for remembering things you want to do, or what other psychologists call prospective memories, actions, intentions, commitments, etc. This is similar to self-testing. Research shows that quizzing yourself is an extremely effective way to speed up the learning process. Tip number 3, simple. Spend 40 seconds rehearsing something you want to remember. Memory consolidation is a process of transforming temporary memories into more stable, long-lasting memories. Even though the process of memory consolidation can be sped up, still, storing a memory in a lasting way does take time. One way to increase the odds is to rehearse whatever you want to remember for 40 seconds. A study published in the Journal of Neuroscience found that a brief period of rehearsal, like replaying an event in your mind, going over what someone said in a meeting, or mentally mapping out a series of steps, makes it significantly more likely that you will remember what you rehearsed. And finally, step number 4. This is a really easy one. Sleep on it. People who study before bed, then did a quick review the next morning, increased long-term retention by 50%. Researchers report that converging evidence from the molecular to the phenomenological leave little doubt that offline memory reprocessing during sleep is an important component of how our memories are formed and ultimately shaped. Now, you know me, every week I like to end on a quotation, and I was looking up memory, and this one, it just made me smile. This is by James M. Barrie, Scottish novelist and playwright who's best remembered as the author of Peter Pan. He said, quote, God gave us memory so that we might have roses in December. Come on, that's pretty nuts. All right, well, anyways, I hope you found that useful. If you'd like to further discuss anything regarding this topic or any small business strategy, reach out to me at rich@speakingofsuccess.us. I'd love to talk with you. Just use my calendar to schedule a time that's convenient, and we'll get together. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.